Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse.
Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas Day 7. We cannot believe that we completed an entire week. Like our very first week of Vlogmas, our first Vlogmas ever. This is all super new and super exciting to us. So tonight we thought it would be kind of cool and just nice to sit down. We made ourselves some hot cocoa. This is actually the cinnamon version from Target. It's by the brand Archer Farms, and how would you say it? How good is it? Amazing. It's so good. Like, we're definitely going to continue drinking this like beyond tonight. Finley, come here. And so we just thought, since it's such a new vlog channel, you guys don't know too much about us, so we thought it would be nice to kind of sit down, have a casual little video with you guys. We're sitting in our living room with our little fluffy pillows and our holiday blanket. If you haven't seen I believe our first day of Vlogmas, or second day, we showed you guys where this blanket is from Amazon.
Smitty on top of it.
And yeah, and Smitty and Finley are obsessed with it. It's like the big one blanket. It's so soft and so cozy. We all fight over it. So we're cuddled up with our little blanket and our hot cocoa, and we just want to share more about ourselves with you guys so you guys can get to know us better. So we are going to tell the story of how we met, and we're planning another video to tell the story on how he fell. Did you see him? Smitty, no, get down. Get down.
He just wants to be in the center.
Yeah, so ridiculous. And we're planning another video, like I was saying, about how we got engaged. So let's start on
how we met.
Alright guys, so the story of how we met. Once upon a time. long ago. No. Okay, so the story of how we met. We both downloaded this app called Instapray, and basically it's like Instagram for prayers. Right? Like, I mean, I don't know what else to liken it to. But the reason I downloaded the app, I was going to Bible college at the time, and my grandpa got really sick, and so I asked my classmates and my school to pray for him. And someone, I don't remember who to be honest, but someone told me about an app called Instapray, just talking about how you can post prayers, and you can have like multiple Christians from around the world pray on that certain subject. So for me, I was like, the more prayers, the better, you know, for someone that I just care so deeply about. So every day I was posting prayers, just kind of keeping, I mean, it's not like you talk to individual people really, but like you're just posting it out there, like almost like putting it out into the air for like someone else to, I don't know, pray about it, you know, they feel something in their heart to pray about it. So every day I was posting updates on my grandpa and how he was doing and stuff, and just having more and more people pray. So at that time I was single for about a year, and every night, along with my other prayers and things that I prayed about, I was always praying for my future husband, and wherever he may be, that God would be with him and preparing him and whatnot. And so on a whim, one night, I just thought that, like, you know what, I'm praying about my grandpa and such important things, why not me post my prayer for my husband out there also, so more Christians can pray about it, and then God can bring me him sooner. And so I posted the prayer one night, literally right before I was going to bed, because it was in my prayers before my, going to sleep. And I posted my prayer, and I just like jokingly put like, "Dear God," like, I don't know what I said, something along the lines of like,
if he's out there.
Something like, if he's out there, like, protect him and watch over him and make sure that like, you're just taking care of him in the meantime until it's time for us to like kind of be brought together. And I signed it, waiting patiently. And so this guy over here, he liked it, the prayer, meaning that he also either related to that or he was praying about it too, like it struck something up in him. And he messaged me, and I'll let you go from there.
And there wasn't a single day after that we didn't talk. We talked all night until we had to go to sleep, and then the next morning, good morning, and talked throughout the day until we finally made our first official date.
Yeah. But at the very beginning, when we first started talking, it wasn't like flirty or anything like that. It was truly just like, not bouncing ideas off of each other, but just like talking about our beliefs, and
strictly about the Bible.
Yeah, and about like what we believed in a marriage and a relationship, and how a person should be, we should be acting, and just our goals, and how God's just really changed us as a person and in our lives. And to me, I think to see it blossom from like a friendship, even though it was such a short amount of time, but we talked all day long, every day. And after, like, I think the first couple days, like, no more than 2 or 3 days, did we just both see that, like, there's something here. Like, absolutely there's something here. There's no denying it. You know, how else is it possible that, like, someone else believes in the same exact things that your core values are? Like, he felt the exact same way, which to me was just, it was crazy. It was unheard of. And so we both felt that there was something there, and we both just started praying on it, you know? Like, if this is what God wants, if this is what God is leading us to, then, okay, like, God, give us a sign. And so we started praying, and he started giving us signs.
Mm-hmm. And we started going to the same verses in the Bible, and
which is crazy because the Bible is so big, obviously. But I remember one time we were praying, and we both got led to, it was a verse in Proverbs, and it was about marriage, like plain and simple, like, you know, it was about marriage, and that like a precious woman, I think, is like as rare as gold or something along those lines. I don't have it memorized exactly. And he had something along the lines too about like just marriage. And we were just shocked, you know, that like, how are we both being led to the same verse? The Bible is so huge. We could have opened it to any other thing, the, you know, a sermon on TV or on the radio or on your phone could have given you any other verse, and you're saying that we are getting the exact same verse, not just one time, like numerous times, over and over again. Like, okay, we're listening, God, you got our attention, you know, like there's something here, there's no denying that. And so
yeah, we made our first day on March 18th. It decided to head out in this direction. I remember she gave me the directions to get here. I wrote them down on the notes on the iPhone, and I kept them too. I kept the notes just as like as a memory, you know, right turn here, right turn there, left turn. And I remember when I got out my car, started walking, I turned the corner of the parking lot, and straight ahead is the gate to where we live. And behind the gate, I saw somebody there. I saw somebody standing. I'm like, that's definitely her. She's just waiting there, making sure I'm not some creep.
Yeah, because for me, it's just like you're a girl, you're meeting someone offline, which I've never done. You know, you've also never done. So it was just shocking, but it's just like you're putting your faith in God, knowing that like there's just, you know, I felt this 100% peace that there's no way he's lying about who he is. Like, we've been talking for so long, you know, like, I think we had already checked each other's Instagram page, so you know that this person is, like, real. There's no way that it was, like, anything weird. But still, being a girl, and, you know, you have to be careful, and you have to protect yourself. Like, Instapray is by no means a dating app whatsoever. It just, God used it in our plan to introduce each other. But don't go on it thinking that, like, let me get with someone, you know. Which some people, I think, have bad intentions on there to do that. But anyways, yes, I was behind my gate still waiting for him safely, because if he was anyone else, I would have been like, okay, nope, I'm going to go right back up my stairs to my house. But yeah, and you came and got me.
And then we headed out to Bruno's. It's an Italian restaurant. I remember we sat down, and I was she's just so beautiful. You know, I was speechless, and throughout our entire meal, it was just hard for me to like just come up with words and keep the conversation going. And I ate super ridiculously slow, and I never eat slow. Which now knowing him and now being with him as long as I have been, this guy is not a slow eater whatsoever. So he must have truly been shy. Yeah, I was. Or a faker. Shy. No, shy. Shy sounds a lot better. So we went to Bruno's. And we both had to go use the restroom. So we went to go use the restroom, and when we got out of the restroom, we both pulled out our gum. And we were still waiting in line at that time. It wouldn't have been after. We were waiting in line for the restroom, and both restrooms were busy. And so we're both waiting in line. And then I think you offered me, you're like, oh, do you want a piece of gum? And he pulled out my like gum, and this like flavor is my favorite, and not many people know about it, or even I think it's like relatively new, or it was relatively new. And I was like, no way! And I pulled it out of my purse, and I was like, that's my favorite piece of gum. And he's like, oh yeah, like me too, like I love this one. And I was like, okay, I see you, God, I see you. I mean, obviously it's not something to base the whole relationship off of, but And I just remember going back a little bit, just while we were eating and, you know, talking, I was just I'd catch myself just like staring at her and staring at her and staring at her and say like, I just love her already. You know?
Well, because we'd been talking for so long.
Yeah.
He met me at a very tough time in my life, not because of anything personally or to do with me, but to do with such a sick family member and someone who I was so close with. It was just like, is this the right time to get into a relationship? Or like, you know, it was confusing at the time. But I mean, when all the signs are there over and over and over again, from sermons to Bible verses to just like things that we both come across at the exact same time, like it's undeniable. God was absolutely a part of it the entire time, and when he was writing our story, and it's amazing to see it just all unfold, really, and all the just signs, you know, over and over and over again was just, can't deny it.
And then after, I told her if she would like to go to the beach, so we decided to go to Newport Beach. We walked the pier. It was a cold night, right? It was a cold night, and we walked around in a circle behind all the buildings. And in my mind, I wanted to grab her hand and reach out for her hand or something, but I didn't want to be too forward and scare her away. You know, I didn't want to ruin my chances or anything like that. And the entire time we were on the pier, I just kept thinking, I'm like, but if I don't hold her hand, what if she doesn't? You know?
Which is funny because during our date, like when we were having dinner, he was super quiet, and I was just like, oh, like maybe, you know, maybe he doesn't like me, or maybe, I don't know, you know, maybe we amped this up to be more than what it was or something. But he was so quiet and so shy, and I was just like, oh, like maybe this isn't, you know, isn't going so well. Even though, like, even when we were waiting in line for the bathroom together, like, it was still fine. Like, it wasn't like I was ever uncomfortable. I was just like, oh, he just seems really shy, or maybe he's just not that into it.
Beautiful.
Come to find out, he was just amazed.
I was just nervous. Very nervous.
Nervous. And same thing with the pier. When we were walking down the pier, you know, he didn't try to hold my hand or anything. And I'm not saying that you have to, but I'm just saying that, like, oh, you know.
Yeah, I thought of it more so because it was like our first date, and I didn't want to rush anything and, you know, scare her off. Yeah,
but it's funny, when we walked up the pier, we weren't holding hands, but when we walked back, I think we were talking about something, and then he just, like,
finally worked up the courage. I'm just
casually grabbed my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
You didn't say anything, did you? Or did you say something?
No?
You were nice.
Not like, oh, you're holding my hand, how dare you, slap in the face.
It's
no,
about time.
To me, it's just like, oh, you're holding, I don't know. Holding hands, I don't think are like that. It's too much. It shows that you're into the person. And then after we walked the pier, we went to sit on the sand.
With no blankets, no nothing.
No blanket. I mean, obviously it wasn't planned. It just happened after dinner. It was our first date. I mean, to be spending that much time together on a first date was pretty nice. But it just felt natural. It felt fine. It didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable, even though he was shy at first, and I took it for like him maybe not being into it, or, you know, not liking me. Once I got the signs of like him holding my hands and us continuing the date, I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we're still good. It's just, he must be a little wonky.
Have a little social problem or something.
He must be a little socially awkward. And so we sat on the sand and we talked, and he told me, he's like, you know what, like, I really just have something to tell you. And at that point, I was like, oh my God, my fears are right. He for sure isn't into me. He's going to break it to me gently that he just does not like me. And he just broke it down that he really likes me a lot. Tell the truth. That he really liked me a lot and cared for me. And he cared for me from the moment that we first started talking, like the very first day, that he just knew. Like 100% he knew. Before all the signs. Like, he didn't need the signs. He knew.
I just could not sleep. I could not sleep. I was in my mind in the pier. The reason why I had the courage to hold her hand was because I'm just like, if I don't do something now, I'm going to lose her. Or there might be somebody else who's...
Yeah, you said that was your biggest fear. His fear was
fear.
That I might have been talking to someone else, and that, like, if this date didn't, not go well, but if he didn't show his intentions at the very beginning, that, like, I could have easily continued on with someone else. And so he's like, no, like...
She's mine. That night, it had to be. And it was meant to be.
And I think it's just, again, more signs continued after that. And one of the things that stands out the most out of all the signs, you think you know what I'm talking about when we're on the beach?
The fairy tale?
Yeah. Out of all the signs, the one that I think sticks out the most, because it's just, there's no other way to explain it. We were sitting on the sand, we're looking out into the ocean, watching like the waves, mind you, it's at night, and it was like a quiet moment, but it wasn't like quiet, awkward, it was just like a little quiet pause. And in my head, I don't know why it came to me, but when I had broken up with my last boyfriend, one of the last parting things that he had said to me was, the man that you want doesn't exist. Like, what you want in a relationship is a fairy tale. And I was just kind of like, in my head, I'm just like, man, like that's one of the last things that we said in parting and whatnot. And then I look over to him, mind you, he has no idea that that's like what thought had popped into my head at the moment. And he turns over to me and he's like, you know what, this really is like a fairy tale, isn't it? And I was just like, there's no way he would have known that, like, that's what random thought popped into my head, you know? And I was like, thanks God, like he just confirmed it, that like, no, what you like want, the desires that God puts in your heart, he's gonna fulfill. And if I want a fairy tale man, or if I want all these things from a man, God's gonna do that, and he's gonna put that man or woman into your life. So don't like lower your standards to suit anybody else.
Because I just remember laying on the sand and just looking up into the sky and just thinking about how the day went, and here I am next to this beautiful woman, you know, that's mine. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I have this now. I have what I've always wanted.
What you've always dreamed
What I've
of.
always dreamed.
You're very on fairy tale.
What I've always dreamed of. A godly woman that I can share my life with. And here we are now.
Engaged. Soon to be married.
The engagement one will be...
That'll be a fun one to share with you guys, because that was a special moment for us too. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. From the very beginning, like literally from the first conversation, we just knew, I think, that something was there.
We did not stop talking.
And God just kept reconfirming it over and over and over again for us. It's just like, all right, we get it. Like our first time going to church together, the service, the sermon.
It was about family. It was about marriage. For a couple messages, it was about marriage. Like
over and over again. And every time we'd go into church, we'd be like, okay, like what does God want to show us today? And then it would be that over and over and over again. It's just like, okay. And then the verses that we would both stumble upon, like randomly today, we would talk about it, would be marriage ones and how to be a godly wife and a godly husband. It's just like, man, God really wants this for us, like 100%. There's no denying it, and it's just so beautiful to be able to like experience that, and to just be so secure, like knowing that that's in our future. But from the very beginning, month one, just,
you know, you ask God for a sign, and there you go.
Yeah. Just and we're like, okay, how many more signs do we need from God? Like he's telling us, yes, 100% yes, this is the person for you, this is the relationship you need to be in, like sign left and right. Yeah. We're like, all right, let's do this. And so we knew, I think from month one, that we wanted to get married. Like we were the persons that we wanted to spend the rest of our life with, like each other. We did. Or we're going to. We're going to get married. So Finley has found the Christmas tree. Neither him nor Smitty have found it this entire time. No interest at all. Yeah, since we got it, and now tonight he has been like. He has not been away from it. Yeah.
It's not that we have a problem with him being around the Christmas.
No, I'm just worried because again he's blind, that like he won't see a pine needle and he'll run straight into it and maybe scratch his eye. I'm just so concerned.
So that's our love story, guys.
That's our fairy tale.
That's our fairy tale.
Literally our fairy tale.
It's only the beginning. You know, there's just so many more memories, and
can't wait to see what God does.
Yeah, we're thankful that God gives us opportunity to, you know, now share it with, you know, anybody who's watching, everybody who watches it later on.
That there's still hope.
Yes, that's like the main reason.
Yeah, the one thing we want you guys to truly take away is that don't ever give up on love, because either you had bad experiences, which we both did, or you come from maybe a family of divorce, whether it's your own parents or your aunts and uncles or people around you, where you see divorce as like an option for them. Like don't Don't give up on love. And I would also say, don't lower your standards to like meet anyone else's needs. Like, what you feel you need in a relationship or from another person, God put that in your heart for a reason, you know? And it may seem like high standards to some guys or girls, but to the right guy or girl, it's like, oh, that's easy. Like, faithfulness, done. Like, so easy, I can do that for you. Like, you know, someone reliable or patient, done. That comes naturally to me. Like, God gave me that already. So it's just so cool to see those needs just being met with such ease.
Yeah, because, you know, God knows each of us individually. He knows our hearts. He knows our needs, what we want, what we crave more than anything, what will bring us happiness. And He can give you everything. He can give you everything you want. There are no limits. The worst thing we can do is limit God. You know, limit the things that He can do. He can create fairy tales. He's created everything around us, you know,
like He won't only give you what it is that you want in a significant other, He'll give you what you need. Things that you didn't even think to ask or pray about, or even think that you'd want in your future husband or wife. He'll give that to you and be like, oh man, like I didn't know I need it, but now having that quality in your significant other, it's just like, man, like, what would I do without that?
And you truly do, you know. You brought things, I brought things, and you grow, you learn, you adapt, you know, you build different parts of you that have never even been opened before, that have never even been trained, or just knowledge you never had, you know. Now you get to share together, combine what God has made in each of us into one person, and that's exactly what we're doing. And, you know, that's exactly what we hope to share with everybody watching, that, you know, a relationship, a marriage, a life centered with God, you know, it is the road to happiness. And, you know, that's our road.
That's the road we're choosing, we're taking, no matter what day it is.
Every day is a good
no matter who agrees with it, who doesn't agree with it, God is your defense. He's your backup. He's everything you could need. You know, no matter what life throws at you, God's got your back for sure.
Do not be afraid, you know, because God has already overcome the world. He's already overcome everything. Everything we can think about, the worst possible scenarios, He's already overcome it. So He's going to give us what we need to do the same. We're going to learn. We're going to go through trials. You know, that's the point of life, to go through challenges. But it's building us for the next one to come, the next one, and the next one. But we're getting stronger. We're growing in faith, and that's the most important thing. Never lose hope. Never lose faith. You know, always believe. And, you know, believe in each other, have faith in each other, and, you know, trust, and always do everything in love. No matter what the situation is, do everything in love, because that's God's commandment to us. And that's what we're always going to do, no matter what. Give it all back. So this is Vlogmas day number 6, closing with our hot cocoa.
Is it 6 or is it 7? 7. That's the week, yeah. Vlogmas day 7.
Day 7.
So if we can close it with one last thing. There's something that I heard, a sermon that I had recently heard maybe 2 days ago, and the guy said it perfectly. I wish I could find, maybe I'll look and put it like in the description bar below. But it said something along the lines that, like, the 2 main things you should do in your life, in your Christian life or in your Christian walk, is love God with all your heart, and 2, do as you please. Because if you love God with all your heart, the things that you please are the things that, like, that you want to do. The things that you want to do are the things that please God in return. So it all comes full circle. Make sure you focus on yourself, focus on your relationship with God first, and that's going to make you into a better person. That's going to make you into the godly wife or husband that someone else deserves to have, and vice versa. So,
and it's not always going to be an easy road. It's always, you know, the Christian walk and Christian life isn't meant to be easy, because it's the path that not a lot of people take, but it's the only path that we believe leads to happiness.
That's what we're going to follow. All right, so thank you guys again. Closing out this vlog, this vlog one more time. thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe to our channel since this is so new for us. We're so excited to be doing this yet again. I mean, just vlogging every day is just so much fun for us to see, like, you know, to share our lives with you guys and share just more about us. So feel free to leave any questions or comments down below, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Good night, guys.
My